Good morning, tadpoles. Mr. Bruce here. Hey, listen, you can hear my clock bells ringing. That must mean that it's 9 o'clock. Today we're going to do the second part of our book, Frog and Toad Together. There's a picture of a frog I have on my kitchen wall. He's fishing. Anyway, before we start, eyes watching, ears listening, voices quiet, body calm. Today's story is called A List. And it's about a toad likes to make lists so he remembers to do things, but then he gets so everything he has to do, he writes on a list, and if it's not on a list, he can't do it. Let's take a look and see. One morning, Toad sat in bed and said, I have so many things to do, I will write them down. I'll put them on a list so that I can remember them. Toad wrote on a piece of paper, list of things to do today, and the first thing he put on his list was wake up. I have done that, said Toad. So he crossed it off his list. That means he didn't have to do it anymore because it was already done. Then Toad wrote other things down on a list of paper. Eat breakfast, get dressed, go to Frog's house, take walk with Frog, eat lunch, take nap, play games with Frog, eat supper, go to sleep. Those were all the things he thought he would do over the course of a day. There, he said, now my day is written down. He got out of bed, had something to eat, and he crossed off, eat breakfast. That comes off his list. Toad took his clothes out of the closet, put them on, crossed off, get dressed. Put the list back in his pocket. Then he opened the door, walked out into the morning. Soon Toad was at Frog's front door, and he took the list from his pocket and crossed out, go to Frog's house. Toad knocked at the door. Hello, said Frog. Look at my list of things to do, said Toad. Oh, said Frog, that's very nice. Toad said, my list tells me that we will go for a walk. All right, said Frog, I guess I'm ready. Frog and Toad went on a long walk. Then Toad took the list from his pocket again and he crossed out, go walking with Frog. There was a strong wind. It blew the list out of Toad's hand. The list blew high, high, high up into the air. Whoa! Help! My list is blowing away. What will I do without my list? Hurry, said Frog. We will run and catch it. No, shouted Toad. I cannot do that. Why not? Because, the Toad said, running after the list is one of the things that is not on my list of things to do. Well, Frog ran after the list, and he ran over hills and swamps, but the list blew on and on. At last he came back to Toad and said, I'm sorry, but I could not reach your list. Oh, blah, said Toad. I cannot remember many of the things on the list. I will just have to sit here and do nothing, said Toad. Toad sat and did nothing. Frog sat with him. After a long time, Frog said, Toad, it's getting dark. We should be going to sleep now. Go to sleep? That was the last thing on my list. Toad wrote on the ground with a stick. He wrote, go to sleep. And then he crossed it out. There, that's my day. It's all crossed out and I'm glad. Then Frog and Toad had a good night's sleep. The end. Okay. Tomorrow's book is going to be The Garden. The story from that is, and it's about Toad and Frog putting together a garden. When I put things on a list, it's usually because I'm going somewhere to do something. But sometimes, you can see over here, I leave lists right on the wall of my house so I can remember what to do. Some are for different people. Some are for me. Some are for my fishing frog. All right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, wash your hands. Be good to your parents. Bye bye.